a berth in the AFC Championship game. Off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And it wasn't really his best performance of the year in the wild card round last week. He just had the one touchdown pass, but he got the job done and his team advanced. For them to continue on to the championship round, though, I think he's going to need to take a few more chances with the ball downfield, push it a little bit more, and make sure his team finds its way into the end zone a few more times.
Ready.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ready, go. Ready.
On second down, another run for Dillon.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Tua going to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
Here's Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. Pulling a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
A 3-yard pickup.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a pickup of 3, but that is indeed enough.
We tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
To Marvin Leal.
What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
Right back to him on first down. A solid stiff arm. And he's brought down after a very nice game. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
First down and goal to go.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Miami set to take over.
And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Fielded at the 20. And now off to the races down the right side. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Steelers 14.
We know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fields it right around the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Now back to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. They'll run a toss here with Dillon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Tua. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that's taken at his own 42. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, Story. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Steelers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And Miami's offense set and ready to go. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Buying time to his left. T.J. Watt able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Shreds him with a stiff arm. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Story. And this is caught inside the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. He scored on a punt return, and now he's scored through the air. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Throw right side, complete to Williams.
Holding offense.
Liam Eichenberg, second-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Tua sets up to pass it. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Ready, go!
On 3rd down, here's Dillon. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it.
Ready.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. And it was the Buffalo Bills who are moving on as they eliminate the LA Chargers. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Miami in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments are underway in the locker rooms. Which of these 2 teams will survive and advance to next weekend's AFC Championship game? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40, the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Steelers.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach, his head coach, to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua forced out to his left, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And this one caught by Max Williams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
A gain of 21 yards.
Play action, now it's Tua.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup.
Tua to throw again. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Tua now on first down. That is caught. It's Williams. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now Tua. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Brings up second and 10.
Looking to pass. Tua. He finds his man. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. They find some open field here. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Miami set to take over. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Returnable here from the 38.
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. From down at the 12, it's first and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Steelers are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tua. This is caught by Williams. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. A touchdown on a kick return, and now one through the air.
And the Steelers add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. Calling a gain of 5, 4th down now. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he fields it cleanly. Oh, nice move. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Off the play fake. Story out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
122 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
Ready?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Ready?
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
One back, hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point attempt to follow here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Now they face a
3rd and 10. 35 seconds to go. Here we go.
Working out of the gun.
No, 1st and 10. No.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You ain't gonna get a playoff. You're not. Oh, Jalen Waddle. Who else? Stack.
Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down.
And that's game.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack.
And that's game.
The Steelers going to survive and advance as we say so long, everybody.
$39 was that one. And that was scored 80-0. Okay. Now I just gotta hope the Packers knock out the Buccaneers.